Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Sports Buzz presented by livingforless.org. I'm your host, Greg Brum. This is Louisville's original live TV sports talk show. We want to hear from you. Our phone lines are open. 964-2121, the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line. Joining me tonight, the voice of the St. X Tigers from the Bissek Impact Group, John Spears. We had Tony Burke, your partner, on a couple weeks ago, and he set a high bar for you to try to exceed, John.
I saw that show, Greg, and I don't think it was quite as high as you imagined it. But, I saw that show. Tony did a great job representing the St. X community.
We try to keep low expectations on this show, so then we never disappoint.
That's a good idea.
All right, college football season. 1 week away, actually less than a week. Thursday night kicks off with some SEC games, I know, Thursday night. And we're going to look at college football as a whole. And we're going to make our predictions for the BCS bowl games at the end of the year. The preseason polls are out, and you kind of have split number ones. You know, USC in one poll, LSU in another, Alabama in another. I mean, I think consensus, those are the three top teams in the country. Yeah. At the end of the year, where do we think things are going to – how do we think things will play out? Well, here is John Spears' picks for the BCS bowl games. And, John, you have Oregon and Michigan State winning the Big Ten this season.
I do. Michigan State does travel to Michigan, and that game will in all likelihood see who wins that division in the Big Ten. But I just like this Michigan State team. A lot of people love Michigan this year. They love Denard Robinson and what he brings. Of course, Ohio State's ineligible. Wisconsin's on the other side. They've lost some players, including the great quarterback they had. So I like Michigan State to sneak in there and get that Rose Bowl.
And you have Michigan in the Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma. And the Sugar Bowl, LSU versus the Louisville Cardinals. You have the Cardinals going down to New Orleans twice.
Yes.
Twice in 1 year after the Final Four.
Well, it's karma, no question about it. LSU is going to be a home team there, obviously, in New Orleans. But in my opinion, Alabama's going to be the better team. Even though they have to travel to Baton Rouge in the regular season, I see Alabama winning that game and winning the SEC championship game and getting to the championship. But LSU and Louisville, what a great time that'll be. Get your tickets now, Cardinal fans.
Oh, that would be amazing. And to play a team of LSU's caliber. I think Louisville needs to get in a bowl game and play somebody like an LSU. When they went to the Orange Bowl in 2006, you know, it was a little anticlimactic playing Wake Forest. Even though they won the ACC, it wasn't really the name brand that you were hoping for.
Well, if you get to that, if you win the Big East, you're going to play a great team in a BCS bowl game. That's the reward for winning a conference that's admittedly down.
And the Orange Bowl, Florida State, you have Georgia coming from the SEC too. Florida State, pretty much consensus to win the ACC this season. And then the BCS championship, Alabama and LSU, or USC, Alabama and USC. And the thing about Alabama, they've got to travel to Arkansas and to LSU this year, but you still have them in the BCS championship game.
Well, Arkansas is the factor that you have to put in there because they have a home game against LSU. They have a home game against Alabama. So, but with Bobby Petrino gone, things are just not where they should be down there. I don't see them winning both of those games. I like Alabama to win at Baton Rouge and at Arkansas.
How about versus USC? Because it's been 6 years in a row for the SEC.
Have you ever seen a team, Greg, come off of sanctions as quickly as Southern Cal has done? Lane Kiffin's got it going out there. They're getting all the kids they want to get. And I think SC is the best team. Never bet against Nick Saban in a bowl game, and especially in a big bowl game. And I think Nick Saban, Lane Kiffin, nice little side issue there.
Great personality matchup there. Matt Barkley, quarterback for USC. Maybe it is their year with the senior All-American quarterback. Here are my picks. Real close to yours, John. Close to yours, but I have a little wild card in there. I'm going to show some love to our old friend. If we can get my picks up on the screen here shortly. So our old friend down in Fayetteville, John L. Smith. I have Arkansas. I have John L. getting it done because he does have two home games against LSU and Alabama. He has to keep the job, he probably has to split them. Splitting them may get him in the SEC title game. Splitting those two games. Winning them both definitely does, and I have them facing USC in the title game. What do you think about Arkansas?
Well, I love Arkansas. Again, the Petrino thing, they had a new coach in there now, John L. Not going to stray from the system too much, but Bobby is such an offensive genius that it won't be quite as easy for them to score points. But again, they've got their two biggest games in conference at home. The problem I have is if they happen to win those games and go to the SEC championship game, then they got to play maybe Georgia in the Georgia Dome or a South Carolina who's going to be awful good. So to get through that SEC and get to that BCS championship, look, they've won 6 in a row, the conference has. So there's going to likely be an SEC slot in that championship.
Well, that's why you pretty much have it reserved for the SEC winner. I don't care how many losses they have. You win that SEC championship, I think you've got a spot reserved in the title game. And, could be Arkansas. Alabama, LSU are favored. I think even Georgia and South Carolina may be a bit favored over Arkansas getting that game. But I got the Razorbacks. Orange Bowl. I got Florida State and Louisville. And here's my reasoning. I still think the Sugar Bowl gets to pick before the Orange Bowl. I still don't think Louisville gets the respect on a national basis that when a bowl is picking, I think Boise State has a little bit more of that name following across the country. I think Boise State has built a brand a bit more than Louisville at this point. So I'm saying that the Sugar Bowl selects Boise State, and Louisville goes down. Another great game, though, in the Orange Bowl versus Florida State.
Well, Boise's got a big opener Friday night coming up against Michigan State. Huge game, Texas Stadium, the new Dallas Cowboy place. And I don't think they're going to beat Michigan State. If they don't, then they're going to have to win out to get into this BCS mix, I think. So that's why I had Boise State out. Now, as far as Louisville and Florida State, if you're a Cardinal fan, Greg, do you want to play Florida State in Florida, or do you want to play LSU in New Orleans? I say you want to play the SEC. Because if you beat them, it's bigger.
It is bigger. It's way more to gain. Way more to gain by playing an SEC power in a bowl game than going down, even if it is a Florida State. Right. The ACC is diminishing in the way people view it as well. So I think I want the SEC team. Fiesta Bowl, I got the same matchup as you. And then the Rose, I'm going to say Wisconsin getting back to the Rose Bowl. We want to hear from you. 964-2121, the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line. When we come back, we're going to talk about the big matchup next Sunday, Kentucky versus Louisville, the Sunday Sports Buzz presented by livingforless.org.
The landscape of sports talk radio in Kentuckiana has changed in a big way. 1450 The Sports Buzz has the perfect blend of local shows and Patrick in the Mornings, and Yahoo Sports Radio, The Freak Show with John Renshaw, has made its triumphant return from 3 to 5 p.m. The afternoon Sports Buzz makes that drive home easier from 5 until 6 with Greg Brom, Rob Jones, Trevor Kelsey, and a slew of others. 1450 The Sports Buzz also has you covered with the biggest high school, college, and pro games every week. Sick of the same old watered-down sports talk? Look no further than 1450 The Sports Buzz.
You've been in an accident. You're probably a little confused and are going to need some help over the next few months. Call 1-800-ASK-GARY and they'll take good care of you. They'll help you get back on track. There's going to be more doctor's visits and lost wages if you're not able to work. So call 1-800-ASK-GARY and rest easy. Just like the ER, they're open 24/7. Accidents happen. It's what happens next that can save you. Call 1-800-ASK-GARY, your free auto accident helpline.
Hi, I'm Jenny, and if you missed 21 Live this week, you missed the big summer blowout. We're doing it right this summer, giving you the amazing prices on our website and, of course, on the show. Paintball, you can go play paintball with everybody in your crew for just $5. Joe's Okay by You. Queenies, we've got a catering offer for you. Brad Haynes Martial Arts, 2 weeks of all the classes you can take. And our Bluegrass Golf Tour card is just $99 for 9 great courses. Check it all out on our website, shop21live.com. Watch us Saturday at 10.
Welcome back to Sunday Sports Buzz, presented by livingforless.org. And make sure you listen to 1450, the Sports Buzz, Mason and Myers in the mornings on Monday and Wednesday, 7:30s. I join the friendly rivals each Monday and Wednesday, presented by InsureMax. For all your home, auto, and life needs, call Chad and Alan Hennessy, 479-4085. Great guys. They will take care of you. They'll get you, take care of your insurance needs, and you can trust them. Chad and Alan Hennessy, InsureMax. Make sure you listen, 7:30s. I am with Mason and Myers refereeing that battle every week. So I'm back here with John Spears, and speaking of battles, and I'll have you on in
We
another
don't have
month.
those battles.
No, we don't,
Okay.
but I'll have you on another month when it comes Trinity St. X time. And last night, St. X won a thriller, was it 49-48?
Yep.
Was it triple overtime? I was there for the first half of the game, John. St. X should have been winning 35-7, and I admit I left at halftime, listened to your call of the game, and couldn't believe that it had gone into overtime.
Yeah, bonehead mistakes in the first half cost St. X 2 touchdowns, blocking behind the play when a touchdown was getting ready to be scored, and it should have been up 35-7 at halftime. It was 20-7. Give Dutch Fork credit. They drive 9 hours to Louisville to play a game. A lot of cramping in that game last night from both teams, but Dutch Fork, you're sitting on a bus for 9 hours, Greg. And they fought back, tied the score with under a minute to go, and missed extra point, hit the upright, was a difference maker. It was a crushing blow for the Silver Foxes from Irmo, South Carolina, but St. X hangs on to go to 2-0.
Speaking of a Silver Fox, Mike
Yeah,
Glazer.
yeah.
His last
He's a
season.
Fox, all right.
His last season as St. X's head coach. Were you surprised that this was the year that he decided would be his last?
Well, a little bit. I'm a little in the know, and I'd talked to him about it, and I thought it would be next season, this junior class that he has this year. But he's the kind of guy that said, you know what, I want to leave the next coach a really good team. I don't want to do anything to hurt that guy. And
You got a lot of good young players on St. X's squad.
The sophomore and junior classes are outstanding at St. X, and I think it was a terrific move on his part. And when you get offered a job that he got offered by the school, it's kind of hard to turn down. I think I might have quit my job too to get a little cushier job.
All right.
He's not a spring chicken.
Nothing's cushier than your job.
Well, that's
You've got
true. That's a good
job.
point.
But St. X icons, St. X football icons. Mike Glazer, I think he's top.
Top
I think
of the
he's
list.
at top of the list of St. X football icons.
St. X football, Johnny Myhouse, Bill Glazer, who was only there a couple of years but was undefeated in those 2 years. Mike Glazer, really, to me, above those guys.
It's our generation. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like the ending of an era. I really do consider it, and we wish him the best of luck. And we'll see. It's going to be interesting, and we'll talk more about that in a month.
I've only had a
when
few
the Tigers
hundred
face
people
the
ask me
Rocks.
who the next coach is going to be. I don't know. I won't know until you know. So there you go.
All right, Tim is with us on the line, Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzzline. Hey, Tim.
Hey, how's it going, Greg?
Doing good.
Hey, I was wondering if you could answer this question for me. Can you name one position that Kentucky has that is even close to being better than Louisville's?
That's a question I was going to ask John Spears. Where does Kentucky have an edge in this
I
game?
think shooting guard, power forward. Other than that, I really don't see one, to be quite honest with you.
I guess you could say the strength. Maybe Kentucky's D line's a strength, but is it as good as Louisville's? I mean,
I'll take place kicking. If it does come down to it,
Yeah.
and I don't think it will, but if it does come down to it, McIntosh, terrific place kicker.
well, I tell you what, the edge. The only thing I see that is in UK's advantage is I think they can benefit more from that us against the world mentality. Everybody counting them out. That sometimes rallies a team together. I mean, I think that psychologically, maybe they could use that to their benefit.
Well, there have been a whole lot of games over the years where a 14-point underdog has gone on the road and won the game. So you never know. There is a chance.
Especially in this
that
rivalry.
they have. It's a rivalry game. You get on top early and hope that U of L offensively is not in sync early in the season. That's what you hope at Kentucky. Kentucky's lost some defensive backs here in the preseason, so I think they're very thin in the backside of that defense. The offensive line, I think Matt Smith, the center, is outstanding. Warford on the tackles, outstanding. You got to run the ball behind those guys. Hope you can get some yardage. Keep the Louisville offense off the field, and hope the Louisville offense, when they're on there, are not in sync.
Was Max Smith the right choice for this game?
I think so. Obviously, people wanted the freshman Tolles in there. That's not going to happen at most programs.
Not that first game against Louisville.
Coaches do not want to start true freshmen, and they don't want them to lose confidence. But Morgan Newton looks like the odd man out now. How confident will he be if he has to come into any game, not just this game, after they've said, okay, Max Smith is the quarterback? But I think Maxwell Smith proved he had some tough stretches when he got in there last year. Of course, you put him in against LSU, that's not going to be easy. But later on, he proved that, look, I can run the offense. We can move the ball when I'm in there. I'm a high percentage guy. I'm going to hit the receivers and the numbers. That's what he has to do. And he played mostly mistake-free football, and they have to be mistake-free to stay in the game.
I think they bring Matt Roark back.
Matt
Roark back. He's the owner of the biggest win they've had in years. So just bring him back. It gives them a better chance. But
Not if you can prepare for it.
Let's go to Handsome. Good to talk to you, buddy. Haven't seen you in a while.
Hi, Greg. You know, Greg, you got good guests. Instead of myself, he's probably the best guest, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I want to ask you guys. I'm hearing about a former U of L quarterback named Steph LaFleur might get the gig. And how do you think he would fit in? And all the great, his coaching ability. He's retiring this year. What's the greatest game you ever saw coach? In his whole career. And I know it's a tough question probably for you, but what one stands out? And Greg, next Sunday night, buddy, I think we win. I think we win from 17 to 21. What do you think the impact might be next Sunday night, buddy? And you got a great show, Greg.
All right, hey, why don't you answer the question he asked you first?
Well, the greatest game I saw, Glazer, it was the Bryan Station state championship game at the fairgrounds, Old Cardinal Stadium, 34-31 in overtime. St. X scored on fourth down in overtime to win the game. Eric Shelton was on that Bryan Station team. Went to Florida State, came back, played at Louisville. Terrific running back, a man among boys. And that might be the best I saw. As far as Stephen LaFleur goes, everything I've heard of, offensive genius. He did a great job at Cal.
He did do a great job last year.
No question about it. But he's got 1 year of head coaching experience. I think that's tough. That's tough to bring a guy in and say, okay, here's the program. You've got 1 year of coaching experience at a smaller place. That's tough. But, nothing would surprise me, to be quite honest about it. They're going to go out and get the best guy they can get. It worked for Trinity.
I was going to say, is what happened to Trinity dictating some of this?
I think so.
I
think the alumni want St. X to go the same way that Trinity went, and that is a national search. You may have a national search for a coach, and I think if St. X doesn't at least do that, the alumni will probably be upset, myself not included.
All right. Give us a call, 964-2121. The Osborne Ford Lincoln Buzz Line. We'll come back. We'll talk more about Louisville and Kentucky with John Spears from the St. X Radio Network. The Sunday Sports Buzz presented by livingforless.org.
Smart shoppers, 'cause this is how you roll. You love your car, it's your best friend. There's one thing that you know. Before you drive around and in the city or town, you want to show her off, Yeah, this is how you roll. That's what we're all about. Smart shoppers, 'cause this is how you roll.
Hi, I'm Jim Weeks. At MaxCare, no project is too big. We have the capabilities to handle the smallest residential project to the largest commercial undertaking. We even clean big houses like this one. And everyone has been abuzz about our amazing 4 areas for $99 special. We want to let everyone know that MaxCare also cleans upholstery, ceramic tile, and air ducts. We also install and refinish hardwood floors dust-free. MaxCare, locally owned and family operated. Give us a call, 636-4629.
Why should you consider Evangel Christian School? Evangel Christian School offers the highest level of education while teaching from a Christ-centered perspective. From grades K through 12, Evangel Christian School is developing leaders for tomorrow through the use of the latest in computer technology to a continued excellence shown through its teachers. So what are you waiting for? Make the decision today. Call for more information, 968-7744, or visit us online at evangelchristianschool.com.
So with Dish's new hopper, now we can record 6 shows at the same time. See? My show's recording.
So's mine.
So's mine.
So's mine.
So's mine.
Congratulations. Now you can start cooking, cleaning, leaving, and jogging.
I really don't have to leave, do I? I'm certainly not going jogging.
Dish introduces the Hopper, a whole home HD DVR that lets you record up to 6 shows at once and play them back in any room. And it's free when you sign up for Dish.
The most exciting family adventure you'll have this summer is the Red River Gorge Zip Line. Soar 250 feet above the canyon. Feel the adrenaline pump through your blood as you reach speeds up to 50 miles per hour on 5 different zip lines. The whole family will enjoy the Red River Gorge Zip Line. Go to redrivergorgezipline.com to find out more. redrivergorgezipline.com. Red River Gorge Zip Line is a proud member of the iTex Cashless Marketplace. Your iTex dollars are welcome here.
All right, we're back. Sunday Sports Buzz presented by Sam Swope. Handsome Jimmy just asked me about the Louisville, Kentucky spread. He says 21-17. I think that's about on the number, John. I don't think it's – I think it's going to be closer than people think. I mean, I think Louisville wins the game, but I think it's definitely closer than, 14, that maybe the spread is right around 14 or so. I think it's more around 7.
I think 14 is a good number for it. I think clearly Louisville is a better football team at this point. They're going to be jacked up. The home crowd's going to be behind them. Kentucky's got to stop Louisville from getting an early 10, 14-point lead. If they can do that, they might be able to stay in the game, but if they get that, look out.
All right, Terry is on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line.
Hello, how you doing?
Doing good. Good to hear from you.
I got several things to say. Handsome, he's okay. But as far as Louisville, you okay? I think the fans ought to get behind them because I'm still pissed off about the sign over the school. And with our soccer got their first game Saturday, they better do something with that sign over there. And then as far as the
kick the
thing,
ball right through it.
I think they need to have the goals to go the highest. I kind of like that Louisville and LSU because that gives them a purpose and a different kind of set of team they need to play to get for the next years. And then, this isn't part of it, but I want to give a shout out to Peyton Manning today. He was awesome. That's it.
You know what? I love seeing that of myself. Peyton Manning lit it up in the preseason, and he's feeling it, it looks like, as the start of the regular season approaches.
Well, Sunday night, first Sunday night of the season, he's got the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we'll see. I mean, you don't bet against Peyton Manning. But that's a whole different level. When
they'll be comparing whatever he does. They're going to compare it to what Tebow did at the end of in the playoffs against Pittsburgh last year.
Well, that's okay. I'll take Peyton. I'll take Peyton there.
All right, let's go to Scott.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
I was almost scared to call in because when I called in during basketball, y'all made a lot of fun of me for being a UK fan. Said I also like U of L, even though I was the only one that said they'd win 6 games the rest of the season during the Big East, and y'all said I was busting your chops. But anyway, I think this is a great rivalry in football. I just think that U of L has got a little bit better of a team with the ability of Charlie Strong to get the good players from Florida and stuff. Joker's just not gotten in there yet. I think Joker's doing a great job, but he's just not getting the wins. And I think U of L will probably win by 7, maybe 10 points. But just like you were saying, if Kentucky get a lead, they may, get in there. But I think both programs are heading the right direction. I think Charlie Strong's done a great job, and but I think Joker, they need to give him a couple more years, and I think he's going to be right in there where he needs to be.
All right. Hey, thanks, Scott. And that leads me. I got about 5 rapid-fire questions for you to close the show, and I'm going to start off with kind of what Scott was saying about Joker. Is 5 wins good enough for Joker Phillips to keep his job?
That's tough, Greg. I'm looking at the schedule. There are 6 games, I think, that are winnable. There are 4 of those 6 games, though, are also losable. And that's the trouble you get into. I don't think they can beat Louisville, quite frankly. I don't think, obviously.
Is that one of your 6 winnables, though?
No, that is not one of my 6
winnables.
Gotcha. But 5 wins for Joker, is that enough? I would say, since this is rapid fire, I would just quickly say no.
No, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. I think 5 it can get it done for Joker.
And I
One
think
more
it's
chance because of Rich
tickets.
Brooks.
Season tickets
That's a good
is
point.
the issue.
Good point. All right, more likely upset that we'll see this season: St. X over Trinity or Kentucky over Louisville? What's more likely?
Well, I just said that I didn't think Louisville could lose to Kentucky, but I will still say that's a better chance of an upset than St. X over Trinity. It saddens me to say that as a St. X radio guy, but Trinity's just too strong, especially at the skill positions. Everybody talked about they lost their entire offensive line. They still got some big guys, and they still can teach offensive line play over there. And with James Quick and Dalen Dawkins and those guys, and Ryan White returning kicks, it's unbelievable.
Well, let me ask you then, once that wave of D1 talent is out, is it evened up automatically right away?
I think automatically. When James Quick, Jason Hatcher, Ryan White, Travis Wright, and Dawkins are gone, the gap closes considerably, especially since St. X's best players, best athletes right now are juniors.
All right. Other than Teddy Bridgewater, who will be the best player on the Louisville football team?
The best
Most
player,
impactful.
I will say Dominic Brown. They're going to go to the one-back set this year. They've already said that, and I think Dominic Brown can be an amazing running back for the Louisville Cardinals. And if he can do that, then I think they run through the Big East. I see trouble in Hattiesburg. You've been there. You played there.
8 o'clock Saturday night.
It's not a conference game, but Boise State has to go there this year, and Louisville has to go there, and they better watch out because that's just a landmine waiting to happen.
Yeah, well, let's say Louisville plays LSU like you predict in the Sugar Bowl in a BCS game. Does that mean Louisville's looking for a new coach?
It means Charlie Strong will get 20 to 30 looks from schools that are considered bigger profile schools than the University of Louisville. I don't think he goes anywhere. I think he's a different person than some of the coaches that have come through this town. His daughter, terrific volleyball player at Mercy, freshman. And I think he will be at Louisville if they go 12-0.
I tell you, I'll watch Florida job, Spurrier ever retires, even Arkansas. I'd be a little nervous. I'd be a little nervous if those were available. But I think it's at least 50-50 he would come back for another year after a BCS win.
He's a Florida guy, but he's now Louisville.
Clemens pitches. Roger Clemens. We got about a minute left. 50 years old, comes back, pitches last night. Who is the retired athlete that you would like to see come back to play and you think can still get it done?
Well, you told me I couldn't say Michael Phelps because he's only been retired for 2 weeks. Mike, how about another Michael? Michael Jordan. You know what? He might not get up and down the floor with you, but he'll still shoot it. He'll still be one of the best defenders in the NBA, which is not a league that preaches defense. And, hey, the guy keeps himself in shape, and he is the most competitive basketball player you've ever seen.
You know what? I'm going with Favre. I'm going with Brett Favre. Has he retired? I don't even know if he's really retired yet.
He's eligible for a roster.
All right, we'll see you next week. The Sunday Sports Buzz, presented by LivingForLess.org.